just starting to get dark. Ocean Rescue came in, and I looked across the parking lot, and Lifeguard Nick Macko normally parks there for his normal tour of duty. Said, Nick, come on over here and take a look at this call. We got an Ocean Rescue somewhere around right here. And before I could say any more, he ran back to the parking lot, and it looked like Superman without a phone booth. He flipped right back into his personal protective equipment within seconds. He had fins, everything he needed for his specialized equipment. And I just mentioned to the engineer, let's follow Nick. He knows, it seems like he knows where to go with this, because we really had no idea where to start with the rescue.
My whole career was spent doing wildland fire and structure fire after almost 10 years, but never ever had a water rescue before in my life. So it was new, and I was that new guy. I was really happy Macko was still here.
The last transmission I heard over Blue was a reporting party saying that there's a person in the back of Sea Cave running out of air. And we all know in the back of Gorge 3, there's another tunnel. And we know if you get trapped in that tunnel, it's a matter of minutes between life and death.
He's a jovial and kind individual that he befriends people that over time, and he had really developed a good working relationship with the guys at 53s too. He knew the capability of 53's crew, you know, from the engineer, and how he could ask for help and tell them what they needed with like zero inflection.
I let them know where we're going, and I tell them when we get there, I'm gonna need Stokes basket, trauma gear, AED, resuscitator, because I really don't know what we're gonna be presented with this time. They're gonna be my medical team and the team that's gonna help me pull the victim out.
We followed Nick. Nick went right to the right trail, ran down a trail as quick as I've seen anybody run down one of those trails.
And we followed him over to the gorge, hiked down there. There were a group of kids down there and screaming at us that their friend was in the gorge, halfway in, hanging on the side of the cave somewhere.
I didn't time anything. I just took the plunge. You know, I told everybody there what I was gonna do, how this was gonna, how we were gonna egress, and regardless of what happens and how long I'm in there, do not come in.
You know, Nick, I trusted the fact that he said he was comfortable going in there by himself. We hung back. We discussed a plan just in case something were to happen, the engineer and I, but when he went in there, you know, he took a chance. It was dark, you know, and I was nervous for him. You know, I had trust in the lifeguards. The LA County lifeguards are the best lifeguards to me in the nation.
And it's not till I actually enter the cave itself is when I started, my eyes adjusted, and I could see where he was, which was back on the right side, holding onto the wall, pretty high up at this point. The first thing he said to me was, "Where is everyone?" And I'm thinking to myself, which I actually said to him was, "I'm it, buddy." And he told me, there's no way that he's coming out. And basically, I had to tell him, if we don't go now, we might both die. And I really thought that. The longer we're in here, knowing that there's these sets that are probably gonna come in is gonna make this even worse. And it's gonna be that much more difficult.
As he was going in, we were relaying, you know, with each of the surge, you know, the swells coming in, tide was getting high, letting them know when the waves were coming in or not. It's pretty intense in there.
When I climbed up the wall, I had a rescue tube with me. I was able to hang on with one hand. I had a good foot position, and I shimmied the tube around him, and I think I asked him to help me on this one, and then I was able to clip it into him. And with some yelling, and he had to pump himself up, and I remember him screaming because now he was jumping back into the water. And at that very moment, when we started swimming, I could feel that push right then, that lull was over. When it started to recede and those waves started to build again, we got actually a little bit of a push back outwards. And when we were climbing up those rocks, you know, you started to feel that it was dropping and the next crest was about to come in. And I don't know what the fire guys, Chris Collins, Dozer, BG, what they were saying, but on video, they are yelling the swells out. And we step up, you know, pulled them up on that last rock right there and watching that one wave just come across. And just thinking like, how lucky did we just get?
I didn't know He was happy to see me until I got there, and he pretty much just outright said it.
I remember Travis climbing up those rocks. I'm pretty sure I just grabbed him. I said, thank you. Thank you for being here right now. It seemed like eternity since I saw another LA County lifeguard wetsuit on. It was a godsend to have one of your brothers or sisters show up who knows what you just went through, and you know that they are just as capable as you are. That just, made me feel so comfortable and calm.
To the parents of my buddy Macko, man, he honestly deserves every bit of recognition. What he did was awesome. Saved that patient's life, I really believe, because if he wasn't here, things might have been different. And so congratulations.
When I think about this award, I really think about my parents. Back on the East Coast, they really don't know what the Los Angeles County Fire Department Ocean Lifeguard Division does. And when they see this, and I get to hear their voice later, that's what's really gonna make me happy. And I'm gonna be thrilled to hear my mom and my dad just be so proud and to know that their son has received such an honor.